Hello friends, absolutely delighted you can join us again this month on this windswept morning. Plenty of storms the last wee while and this morning is no exception. Just thought I'd share a wee bit with you because yesterday, friends, I saw a thing that I never saw before. It was a plow. Now some of you would say, oh well, what's exciting about that? But it's a very old plow and it's one of the first reversible plows. It's a ransom and I'll show you a picture of it, but I'll show you it when it's all finished and done up and so on. But it's a lovely plow. But the thing that really interested me was because the day before I was looking at this lovely photograph of a neighbour's tractor and plough. It's a photograph I would look at now and again. I'm showing you it now and I always get an inspiration from it. But when I saw the reversible plough, friends, and I saw this very old, I don't know what, maybe 50-year-old at least, ransom plough, and I thought, I had a wee idea, a wee thought come to me. The ransom plough, this antique you might say, when it come to the end of the furrow, whenever you're going to turn, it turned as a reversible plough, so it turned over on its own weight. There was no rams, there were no springs, there were nothing hydraulic about it. When you come to the end of the furrow, you just lifted the plough up and you pulled a lever and it turned over itself on its own balance. And of course these modern ploughs nowadays, the very latest one, we grandson were playing with this the other day here, this reversible plough here, and of course it's power driven. That would be turned over by hydraulics and all the modern stuff, including this photograph that I'm showing you at the minute. But I thought, there's a wonderful illustration in that so many people nowadays, they believe that they can get to heaven on their own steam. They believe they can get to heaven with their own good works and ticking all the boxes and doing all this churchy stuff. But friends, as a Christian, there's only one way. And the Apostle Paul in Romans 1:16, and through all the battles and struggles that he was going through, and from his own experience, it was Henry Ford that said this statement once, that experience is the harvest of life, life experience is the harvest of life. And Paul came to a place when he was able to write in Romans 1 verse 16, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to those who believe, in other words, to the Jew first and then to the Gentile. So he was speaking from his own experience. He was a religious fanatic. He believed, just like that old ransom plough, turning over by his own weight, that he came to a realization when he met Christ on the Damascus Road that there's more. You need the power, you need the hydraulic power. And that word power in Romans 1:16 means dynamite, it means TNT, it means power, that sort of power. And friends, when you see the modern ploughs turning over onto the hydraulics with the rams, it reminded me of that wonderful verse in Romans 1:16, that we cannot get to heaven on our own steam. The only way we'll ever get to heaven is because of what Christ has done for us at the cross at Calvary. And Paul came to realise that religion was no use, that all his teaching and religion was no use. He needed Christ, and he needed a personal relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. And friends, it's the same for you, and it's the same for me. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation. Friends, that's the key. And I'll show you a wee clip of this plough turning over now, and it's power assisted. And friends, we need that power in our lives. We need Christ in our lives. We need to accept that we're born dead. We're born dead spiritually speaking, but we need the love of God and the power of God through the power of the cross, that our lives can be transformed, that our lives can be changed. 1 minute we're hell-bound, but the grace of God and the mercy of God, and with Christ in your heart, we're heaven-bound, you see. That's what makes the difference. When all the storms of life come, and it's blowing well at the minute here, and that's why I'm inside here in the Land Rover but the wind's blowing and the wind's howling. You'll see at the start of this video where I got stuck while doing a stupid thing, I had a senior moment, and I almost got stuck with the Land Rover. Maybe you feel a bit like that at the minute. Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you feel you're deep in the miry clay, friends. The answer is Christ. There's only one way. You need the power. You need the power assistance of the Lord Jesus Christ in your heart and in your life. May God bless you all this month, and may God's saving grace be very close to each and every one of you and your whole family circle. God bless. God bless.
plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. My heart has no desire to stand where doubts arise and fears dismay, though some may dwell where those abound. My prayer, my aim is higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. To live above the world, though Satan's darts at me are hurled, for faith has caught the joyful sound, the song of saints on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lead me up the mountainside. I dare not climb without my guide. In heaven gained, I'll gaze around with grateful heart from higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven.